Super slash Man, the Christopher Reeve story. It came out in 2024. It ran, I don't know, an hour 40, I'm going to say 42 minutes, I believe. And it was a documentary that I wasn't able to get to theaters to see. But when it released on Max, I instantly knew I've got to catch up on that movie because it is the movie is so well done with the story, but also the overarching visuals for editing and the beauty of being that public with everything. There's lots and lots of footage. So after the open rolls, I'm going to break it down. Super slash Man, the Christopher Reeve story. David Corn Sweat has some big boots to fill when it comes to being Superman because this Christopher Reeve story really cemented to me the idea that Reeve is the representation of Superman. Not that I ever really had any doubt, because outside of comics and the Superman animated series, Reeve really is the human face, or was the human face of Superman. And whew, the the documentary was so heavy, and no doubt, I mean, anybody who is aware of a man that, as they say, made people believe he could fly, then being confined to a chair, of course that's going to hit you hard. But it wasn't precisely the Reeve portion that really, or Christopher Reeve portion of the documentary that really hit me as hard as it was the Dana Reeve story, because, not to diminish Christopher Reeve's story, but it's like, I know that one. You know, the rise, the crash, and the rise again in the case of being strong enough to be the public face of disability, if you will. And so, while it was so well shown, the reason that it didn't hit me as hard as the Dana Reeve story is because I didn't have her life story top of mind. I mean, why would I? It's not called Super Slash Woman, the Dana Reeve story. And while obviously I knew she was around, especially from, appearances in public, it didn't strike me just how life changing this was for her as it was, because she wasn't the lead for Superman. And her strength, my goodness, her strength, and then her commitment, my goodness, it's like, how amazing is it that, what, 5 or 6 words can really change everything. The idea that, you know, you're still you and I love you. It's like, that it's powerful stuff, and Dana continuing to help push forward Christopher Reeve's foundation to try and get help for people with paralysis. That was amazing. And then the shock of all shocks when she gets diagnosed with lung cancer, inoperable. It's like, what? What? Where does that even? How does that make sense? It's just, it's crazy. Like, it's also. I should have seen the fact that she was no longer with us coming because of the kids. Matthew, Alexandria, Will, they all were speaking in the documentary. I mean, it wasn't just the family. There were so many talking heads. Jeff Daniels, Susan Sarandon. It was just like a plethora of people that were sharing their love and adoration for Chris, the man. Richard Donner. I mean, I should have seen it coming, but it didn't. It didn't even occur to me that she would have a tragic end like that. And when it got revealed that Dana passed away, and Will says that from that day, from that moment in 2006, he's been alone, notwithstanding his, brother and sister and whatever. It just hits hard because, there's a there's a rawness to that type of loss, and I'm impressed that the family was able to maintain composure in an effort to put the film together, because my goodness, it was so well done that I'm glad that I watched. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. One of the lines that was said by Susan Sarandon, the idea that she believes had Christopher Reeve lived, that Robin Williams would still be with us. It's such a heavy thought, but also a comment that was already brought up before even stated while watching it, because when you have a loss that close, somebody that matters to you like that, it's so painful, and it's like Robin was always so supportive of Christopher every year on the anniversary of the accident. So what was it, Memorial Day weekend, I believe, they would have a big party and feast and basically appreciate what they have. And that's really what it comes down to. Like, there was a controversial moment where the disabled community was up in arms because computer generated technology put Christopher Reeves walking in an advertisement. But it's like, the idea that you would be upset about a person demonstrating the hope that they want to bring, not just to themselves but to others. And that's how the documentary ends, strangely or amazingly enough, is that due to the push and the research that was put in, primarily, if not exclusively, due to Christopher Reeve insisting or helping or bringing awareness to it. There are people that now, after Chris is gone, that can walk that couldn't. And it's like, that's crazy. Like, Josiah and I talk about this all the time, how that Diamond Dallas Page is out here saving lives with his accountability crib and his, you know, insistence upon friends, but also strangers, to work hard and do what's needed to get back into the right shape. Now, granted, his primary focus is getting people clean and then in shape because they're no longer hooked on stuff. But, you know, even people like Lex Luger, he got, or is helping to get back to being mobile once again. And it's, like I said, it's crazy to me, the idea that a man I always thought of as the human face of Superman while watching a nearly 2 hour movie about his life, the takeaway is far less about Superman than it is the human being. And that's why I love the title of Super slash Man, because it's an emphasis on how he's, you know, a positive human and not just a caricature or character. And one of the funniest takeaways from the film was when they aired a scene where Chris was on with David Letterman, asked him what it was like to work with Marlon Brando, and he was like, oh, he just took the money and ran. And Letterman's like, oh, well, he's coming out here to confront you, and they turn around and obviously Marlon Brando's not there, but it was just representative of the the fun, good-natured version of Chris and how he got along with people. Man, heavy documentary, but I think that it was spectacularly done. It's a 6 out of 5 stars film because there was spectacular blending of both visual effects, where there's a statuesque Christopher Reeve being infected by kryptonite. There was very alien but also organic effects going on, but there was also the home videos that I think, man, it's so invaluable, the idea that you have this, because Will, the youngest son, said that primarily his memories of his father are of, you know, pictures and videos and stories, and it just makes it really stand out, the idea that you have to not only be in the moment, but capture the moment so as to allow it to live forever in the lives of those who are still around. And so it really puts a proper perspective on the value of capturing what you have, and realistically valuing and being careful with what you do have, because it's not as though that was the first time when Chris got paralyzed. It's not like that was the first time he was on a horse. Like, he learned it for a movie role and just kept getting better, and yet in the blink of an eye, unknowingly, you can just go from, you know, mobile to not mobile. Or, you know, sometimes in the case of like Dana, you can go from being healthy to unhealthy out of nowhere. And so the documentary, the Christopher Reeve story, really highlights to me the importance of gratitude. Like, I've said to people before, I'm like, I know I'm in the good old days. I just need to appreciate right now, while in the moment, that I'm in the good old days, because often if you let it, you can forget that right now is good. Because I know personally, I put a major emphasis on, oh, I want to achieve this, I want to create that. But there is a value in understanding that now is good. And like I said, Super Slash Man, the Christopher Reeve story, it's better than good. It's better than great. It's a 6 out of 5 stars. It's spectacular. If you haven't seen it, check it out on Max. Thank you for watching. Come back all week. Later.